welcome to this week's edition of It's Your City. I'm Cortney Bloomer here in our studios at the Brewery Arts Center with this week's guest, Supervisor Karen Abowd. Karen, thanks for being with us today.
Happy to be here.
Let's get started with a little bit of what happened yesterday at the meeting. Give us a little bit of recap. It was a long
It was
meeting
a very
yesterday.
long day, very budget intensive, and we went thoroughly over the budget, combing it, hoping that and perhaps there'll be additional C-tax monies that are over and above original conservative projections. And if so, we hope to apply those monies to street repair. So, we will wait to see on that issue. There was also extensive discussion and passionate discussion with regards to the sewer and water connection fees, which we've lowered, and we lowered some time ago because construction was down. And we felt that it was an incentive and for people to build here, if we kept those connection fees low. However, we also have a utility finance oversight committee in place who met with Public Works and FCS, who did a study, and our water and sewer and water connection fees are exceptionally low.
Quite a bit lower than other places, even in the surrounding area.
Quite a bit. I mean, $434 compared to $3,000, $4,000 in other jurisdictions. With that being said, they deliberated extensively. However, the commercial and industrial sector weren't part of those conversations. I don't know if they didn't respond to being invited or whatever, but we did feel that they do need to be included in this conversation before a final decision is made. But Utility Oversight Committee and FCS came up with kind of a hybrid scenario for those rates that there are options, one of which is being to phase it in over a 5-year period, nothing the first year, and then the rates go up as we continually move forward. But the others are, to start right now. And Dorothy Palmer spoke yesterday, very passionately. I mean, she used to be in charge of Public Works way back when, and was part and parcel one of the reasons that we have water here in Carson City. That intertie that we have here in town ensures water. And as she said, there's a price for that. People want to be here because we do have water. So, but with all that being said, and with the development on the horizon, there are a lot of things going on in terms of commercial building. We just want to make sure that that voice is heard at the table, and within 90 days they'll come back before us and we'll make a final decision on that issue. But it was definitely passionate.
Now, you mentioned people want to be here because we have water.
Yes.
Which we certainly do, but how long do we have water?
Well, I also sit on the Water Sub-Conservancy, and, we joke about Ed James, Mr. Doom and Gloom right now on their predictions, but our groundwater resources are very good. And unlike California, who has mined their groundwater for quite a long time, we've not done that. And so because of that, we are in much better shape. Now, does that mean we shouldn't be conservative, during this drought time? No, it doesn't mean that. And if everyone cuts back 10%, that means, turn back your sprinklers a minute on each station for watering, or, just shorten up your shower a little bit. Maybe you don't run your dishwasher one day less. If everybody did that, that's a 10% reduction. So, we just want to be smart about how we do things, and we want to ensure that we've got water into perpetuity here.
Did the budget discussions touch on that at all? Do we think that there will be a water rate increase for Carson City as a result of the drought? We
already did that when we passed the water and sewer, and again, FCS was part of that study too. And again, our water and sewer rates were to the consumer were lower than every jurisdiction around us. And so that was looked at, and the rates steadily increase over a certain time increment, and so we are allowing for that. And part of that was the sewer plant is in need of, it needs to be updated. And we have to ensure the monies that we can bond against in order to make that happen, because if you're not in federal compliance, that's a problem too. So, we need to keep toilets flushing and taps running.
That is important.
That's important.
I think residents would be upset
Yes.
if we let that slide.
That's exactly right.
So that's one part of Carson City's quality of life, of course, our
That's
water
right.
and our great location here, even though our snowpack has been a little low.
Yes.
But another important part of quality of life here in Carson City that I know you are really passionate about and that I'm excited to talk to you about today is our vibrant and growing arts community here in Carson City.
Yes, yes. And we, for the first time, I just have to say on whatever day it was, it's all a blur now, Wednesday night, for the first time, the Carson City Cultural Commission juried those that applied for special events money as it relates to the arts. And this is RAC monies that were transferred over, redevelopment monies that were transferred over to us to jury. And so it was exciting for our board to finally be at that place. But with that being said, and disappointingly yesterday, because the board meeting went so long, we want to bring forward the cultural arts plan that was actually developed in 2001. And oddly enough, in going through that plan, some things have been accomplished, some have not yet, but it's not in any way, shape, or form outdated. And the directive in that plan is very, very clear and very much on path to where we're headed. And so the committee has done extensive work on an arts ordinance. We want to establish kind of a triple phased approach to actually having money for the arts, which is something that is underfunded right now. And the arts are an economic driver in this community. A great case in point was Erica Gallegos, who's a senior at Carson High School. And for her senior project, she did a mural by the Boys and Girls Club. It is kind of a silhouette, wetlands motif. She did a phenomenal job. But as she recognized in her research in her final paper to accomplish all of this, she stated quite eloquently the fact that she had no idea the economic impact that the arts have on a community. It's something like a $1.3 billion industry in the state of Nevada, so that's huge. And so Carson City has a great arts community. We want to make it an even better arts community. I really want to see the BAC, excel at what they're doing. Part of the monies awarded was for them to get their summer concert series back on track again. Of course, WNC and their theater company through Stephanie Aragati is airing the Music Band this weekend.
Obviously, that's a big
draw.
Those shows sell out sometimes.
Yes, it's huge. And she draws from out of the area. And so a fantastic audience. And her next production, for which she applied for monies, was The Music Man. Not The Music Man, excuse me, Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins in the fall.
Yes, which is going to be wonderful. And so, that's very exciting. And of course, Jazz and Beyond, the Buglies, they want to ever expand their event. And so, I want to see more and more of that in our community. And as the Buglies were talking about, more of a cultural embrace to theirs. And they are expanding that this time in this year's Jazz and Beyond. So, those types of things are what I want to see. And then I can't leave out the Carson City Arts Initiative, and because their visual arts presentation is phenomenal. And they're going to have, beginning in June, an industrial arts exhibition in the courthouse, which will be phenomenal. They even have a special beer, whatever you call it, fermenter, whatever, that was specially fabricated so that they could get it in the courthouse doors. But as Sharon Rossi said, a lot of the things that they do are just artwork. And ClickBond will have some of their parts and pieces that they do. And so that's going to be a really interesting and exciting exhibit.
And drawing attention to the fact that there is art and design in our everyday life.
That's right. Exactly. And, as an interior designer, I know, because I deal with a lot of artists in various different ways in this community, and they are all around here. And so I want to give a bigger and bigger audience to that. I think it's exciting. And with the corridor projects coming online, public art will be a part of that. And even yesterday at the board meeting, we gave the go-ahead for the Arts Initiative and Kurt Meyer from the pool to work together on jurying some sort of public art to go in the roundabout that's right there in front of the pool.
At the community center.
Yes.
So we've talked a little bit about public art, and we certainly have a lot of opportunities to take in art shows and performing arts events here in Carson City. What kind of things do you think we can do to make art more accessible to everyone in our community in their minds? I think a lot of people feel like, that's something for people who are more well off, or that this isn't connecting with me. How can we get more people involved in the arts in our community that, yes, you are a designer, a performer, an artist, and bring in, more of our population?
Well, I think as we move forward in our arts plan, of course, the public art, I do feel that it engages people and allows them to be part of the arts because it's tactile, and as we make ourselves a more walkable community, bikeable community, I think that that definitely is engaging for folks. I think a lot of our music venues, that actually engages people in the arts because some of those things are free. And the Buglys in their Jazz and Beyond, a lot of those events are free to the public. And so, it allows anyone to participate. And I think more of Stewart Indian School is coming online as a cultural center. I'd like to see more of the tribal embrace and bring that more into the fold of what they do as far as the arts. So I think it's making it comfortable for everyone to come forward and show what they do. And there's been a lot of talk in the community about Nevada Day and perhaps more of a cultural engagement with regards to dance and things of that nature. And so, to me, that's all important in making everyone feel comfortable and engaged in the arts and not making it feel off-putting.
Do you think with the downtown project coming online, I know there was a visioning workshop for that just recently.
Yes.
Do you think we'll have an opportunity to incorporate some new art in that space?
Yes. I will say yes on that. And one of the reasons for us wanting to move the cultural plan forward and working on an arts ordinance going forward is that that will be part of that. And there will be public input. And, the design scenarios coming up, there'll be one in June. What people want to see. There was one just recently which it was more about benches and planters and things of that nature. But, going forward, it's going to be more of what type of art do you want to see. So, those are the things that engages the community and I think brings the community closer together.
One thing that some of our neighboring communities are doing, most notably Silver City, Virginia City, the Comstock region, they're doing an arts inventory of their communities to kind of identify people who are artists or musicians or mixed media artists who maybe are flying kind of under the radar. Are there any plans to do something like that here in Carson City?
Yes, there is. There are plans to do that here in Carson City as well. There's some of that was done way back when, but that's part of the update on the plan for 2001. It's a working document that we intend to update and to make current in terms of all of our artists, and I think we're all going to be shocked about how much
I think
there
so.
is.
I think there are a lot of
Yes.
things out there that are undiscovered as of
That's
yet, or
correct.
just waiting to be discovered here in our community.
Right, and we haven't even talked about poetry. We haven't talked about a variety of the other different types of art forms that
Absolutely.
are out there.
And things are going on all the time here. There's an improv thing,
That's right.
every month here at the Brewery Arts Center that
That's right.
anyone can come to and,
Yes.
and participate in that and hone their skills.
Yes.
So lots of different kinds of things that we really want to make people aware of out there in the community.
That's right, exactly. And of course, Reno right now, their arts ordinance is one of the premier arts ordinances in the country. People
Right.
from all over.
Reno is our town.
Yes, and they are tapping into that. And, our own Gina Hill here was part of Art Town in its very beginning. So I feel lucky that she's here at the helm at the Brewery Arts, because I feel that we can take our direction ever forward here.
Absolutely. It's an exciting time to be in Carson City.
Yes, it is.
Lots of developments, lots of things moving forward. Karen, thanks so much for being here with us today and spending a little bit of time talking to us. I know you're really busy, so thank you so much for stopping by.
Thanks for having me.
And thanks to all of you for joining us again this week for It's Your City. We'll see you next week.